The Houston Astros have fired their manager and general manager following a cheating scandal. Major League Baseball was investigating the team for sign stealing. Today, the league announced it suspended manager A.J. Hinch and GM Jeff Luhnow for the 2020 season. But the team's owner decided to fire them. Jim Bowden is an MLB analyst at CBS Sports HQ and joins me now. Hi, Jim. So what did the MLB investigation reveal about how the Astros went about stealing signs? And maybe give us a little background for those who aren't familiar with the scandal.
Yeah, Tanya. So Major League Baseball, after doing their investigation, found out that the Houston Astros back in 2017 had put in an additional camera in center field for the sole purpose of stealing signs. And then in a scheme that was led by bench coach Alex Cora and was driven by the players based on baseball's investigation, they would then have an audio signal to the batter at the plate to let the player know what pitch was coming. And they would bang a trash can with a massage puncher twice if it's a changeup, once if it's a breaking ball. If there was no noise and the hitter knew a fastball was coming. According to the investigation, it was something that was used both in the regular season and the postseason. Why is that significant? Well, that was the year the Houston Astros won the World Championship. Baseball then sent a memo out to stop it, and according to their investigation, the Astros continued with maybe a different method, but some method of continuing this into the 2018 season, at least at the beginning of the season, until the players came to the conclusion it wasn't helping them as much as they thought, and it stopped. So that's basically what was taking place. And baseball handed down the one-year suspensions today. And then, as you mentioned, the owner of the Astros decided to fire both because obviously the integrity of the Houston Astros and their reputation will not be changed forever.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that. How big a cloud does this cast over the Astros and Major League Baseball in general?
Well, I mean, I think Major League Baseball, by doing this, is making it very clear you better stop it or you're not going to be employed. And I think baseball, the message they sent is the integrity of the game is the most important thing about this game being played, and the fans have to know that it's being played on an even playing field. And by giving these kind of suspensions and the Astros' reaction by immediate firings, you know, it sends a message to all 30 clubs. It's not going to be tolerated. The sport don't cheat. Now, you know, because of this, though, obviously there's a lot of ramifications that go with this. You know, for example, in 2017, Joe Girardi was the manager of the Yankees. They lost in Game 7, and Joe Girardi lost his job because of it. Well, would he have lost his job? Would they have maybe gotten to the World Series and won it had they not been stealing those signs? The Dodgers, who have been to the World Series a couple of times, haven't been able to win one here in the last few years, would it have changed their outcome? So there's a lot of collateral damage that comes with the decisions that were made. Baseball also, by the way, taking away 2 first-round and 2 second-round picks of the Astros, and that type of penalty over the next 5 to 7 years will certainly be felt with their future.
For sure. And so who will manage the Astros this year now?
Yeah, we don't know that, but I know that Jim Crane, the owner, will take a lot of time to make sure in his next hirings of general manager and manager that he brings in 2 of the highest character type of leaders that, to lead this team. This team is still physically able to compete for a World Series. They're that good a team. They won 100 games 3 years in a row. It's a job that a lot of executives and future field managers would love to have. So it'll be interesting to see where and who he decides to hire. But I would think he would want to get proven winners that can go in there and take this team and try to at least win one more.
So Red Sox manager Alex Cora, who was the Astros bench coach at the time, is also mentioned in this report. Could he possibly face any punishment?
I don't think there's any question he's going to be suspended based on the report you're referring to, because Alex Cora is named as the center of the cheating scandal, that he was the bench coach that organized this. It was player driven, but it was organized by the bench coach, Alex Cora. They have not given his suspension yet because he now manages the Boston Red Sox, and the Red Sox are under investigation for doing this in 2018. If the Red Sox were to be found guilty of this and he would have done this in 2 organizations, I would tell you that I think the penalty and results will be worse than what it was for A.J. Hinch.
Are you surprised that based on this investigation, so many players reportedly knew about it?
Well, the players were in the middle of this and they were doing it. The commissioner's office made the decision not to penalize the players. Instead, they made the decision they were going to penalize the leaders that allowed it to happen. And that was the decision that they made. In return, they got complete transparency and honesty from the players who laid out exactly what happened and how they did it. And in the investigation, it says very clearly this was player-driven. It doesn't say it was manager or coach-driven. They say it was absolutely player-driven. But the point is, the leadership of an organization, the GM and the manager, they cannot allow this to happen. They can't let players do this. And so they decided not to penalize the players. Rather, they wanted to get the truth, and then the leaders would take the fall, and that's what happened.
All right, Jim Bowden, a sad day for baseball. Thank you so much.